Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to be teaching you about putting on and removing your personal protective equipment. And that equipment I'm going to be using today will be a mask, a face shield, some disposable, not sterile gloves, and a gown. And the specific order that you do this is really important, and why we do this is if you're ever entering a patient's room where there is a risk of you getting infected, or there's some virus such as COVID that may spread very easily and could potentially harm you, you want to make sure you're protecting yourself. So the first thing you're going to put on when you're putting on your PPE is your gown. So I have my gown here. Looks like this, and I'm just going to slide my arms into the gown like this. And once I've done that, I'm going to take these neckties and I'll tie it around my neck. And then I'm going to take these two ties on my waist and tie it behind my back. And this will keep me protected. It'll cover a good amount of the front of my body and even a little bit of the back to make sure that when I'm facing the patient, I'm covered. So the next thing you're going to be putting on is your mask. So I have my mask here with the band. I'm just going to put it over my nose and mouth. Hopefully you can still hear me. And pinch the nose to make sure there's a seal. There. Next I'm going to put on my face shield. And this goes over my head like this. And this kind of gives extra protection to your mucous membranes in your eyes. And lastly, I'm going to put on disposable gloves. So I'm just going to slip my hands in. And the thing about putting on gloves when you have a gown on is that you want to actually tuck the cuff of your gown underneath your gloves, and that kind of gives a little bit more of a seal and make sure that none of your skin is exposed. So my glove is wrapped around, and then I'm going to do the same thing on my other hand. Just sliding the glove on and then tucking the cuff of my gown under the gloves like this. So this is what my PPE is looking like for right now. Now I can go into a patient's room safely and treat them and do anything that's necessary. And removing them is a little bit different. So when you're removing your PPE equipment, first thing you're going to do is take off your most soiled item, which would be your gloves. So in order to do this, I'm just going to pinch kind of near the palm of my hand and move it down a little bit. And my glove's going to come off. And my hand kind of slips in, and that's okay too. And what I'm going to do is slide my hand under the second glove, pull up, and now the gloves are inside out and it's safe to touch the outside. I can dispose of those. So, sorry, it's a little bit hard to breathe in this mask. The next thing I'm going to do is remove my face wear. Take this off. Okay, and this would include goggles as well if I had goggles on. And then next I would do my gown. So I'm going to go ahead and untie it at the top, untie it at the back. And in order to take it off, I don't want to be touching the outside, so I'm just going to kind of wiggle my hands and shimmy it off, if that makes sense. And once it's like this, nothing on the dirty side is touching me because it's all on the outside. I'm going to pull my hands in and wrap it so that I'm able to touch the clean part and the dirty part is being wrapped into the inside of the gown. I can dispose of that too. And then lastly, as I'm leaving the room is when typically I would take off my mask. I'll take this and I'll dispose of that as well. So thank you very much, and that is kind of my overview on putting on and taking off personal protective equipment.